Bangladesh is the youngest country of South Asia. Formerly Indian East Bengal and then Pakistan, Bangladesh was recognized as an independent nation in 1971. Bangladesh is bordered on 3 sides by India and on the southeast by Myanmar. With 800 people per square kilometre, Bangladesh is one of the most densely populated countries in the world. It is also one of the poorest, with half of its 115 million people living below the poverty line. The annual per capita income is $220. Bangladesh is a low, flat delta lying between the Himalayas and the Bay of Bengal. The land has been formed by the alluvial deposits of the Ganges, the Jamuna and the Meghna. The vast outflow of water from these rivers in Bangladesh is second only to that of the Amazon River. The Kalni-Kushiyara River forms the upper catchment of the Meghna River. Its waterways are central to the culture and economy of her people. The Kalni-Kushiyara feasibility study was carried out in northeast Bangladesh, along 170 kilometers of river and floodplain between Fenchganj and Kalma. The project area includes the districts of Shinamganj, Habiganj, Maulvi Bazar and Kishorganj. Members of a multidisciplinary team have all contributed to the study of the Kalni-Kushiyara River and its people. The feasibility study has included a pilot project on a short river reach near Ajmeriganj. Extensive field studies were carried out on the river itself. The riverbeds, its banks, its velocity, and its sediment were all mapped and measured. Changes in the river's channels, avulsions and loop cuts were documented. The Renal surveys of 1768 and topographical maps of 1927 were compared to the satellite maps of 1990. This historical information was used to forecast trends in the river's behaviour. Graphic representations such as riverbed sedimentation and the disposal chamber near Kakalseo were done with AutoCAD software. Electronic technology was used to study the Kalni-Kushiyara river system. The global positioning system and the echo sounder provided data to map the river's bed. The digital terrain model assessed impacts of flood inundation in the project area. The river's people were active participants in the study. Community leaders, farmers, fishermen, homesteaders and boatmen have all contributed their personal knowledge and experience of the river and its impacts. The Kalni-Kushiyara River crisscrosses throughout the Sylhet Basin in the northeast of Bangladesh. It takes its origin from the Barak River in India. Just inside the Bangladesh border, the Barak divides to form the Surma and the Kushiyara rivers. The Kushiyara passes west through Fenchganj and Sherpur. At Markuli, it takes the name of the Kalni River and flows southwest, passing Ajmeriganj, Katkal and Ishapur. After joining the Surma Bowline in the southwest, the Kalni-Kushiyara flows into the Meghna River and on to the Bay of Bengal. More than half of the land is low, less than 4.5 meters above sea level. Even at Ajmeriganj, some 200 kilometers from the Bay of Bengal, the Kalni-Kushiyara is influenced by the rise and fall of tides. The northeast of Bangladesh is very different from other parts of the country. Howers are its most distinctive features. They are saucer-shaped, natural depressions scattered throughout the floodplain. During the dry winter season, the Howers appear as great plains of rich agricultural land. In the monsoon, they become vast, shallow seas stretching beyond the horizon. The river is the lifeline of its people. Settlements are clustered on high strips of land along the riverbanks. The Howers and the vast floodplain of the Sylhet Basin are the people's source of survival. Flooding and alluvial sedimentation are natural processes on the floodplain. The rhythm of people's activities is shaped by the monsoon. From July to October, rising water on the floodplain isolates villages on tiny earthen mounds. The monsoon leaves people with very little work, only fishing, trading and transportation along the river. Over the past 30 years, the river system has become destabilized. Unplanned river cuts and poor water management practices have changed the river's channels. The river has become the source of trouble in people's lives. The most significant hydrological change began in 1955 at a site just downstream of Sherpur. In an effort to save their villages from erosion, a local group of farmers cut a canal of the Kushiyara River. The old Bibiana channel completely silted in. The Kushiyara surged through the canal and 30 kilometers of the channel was avulsed. Millions of tons of river soil was deposited downstream in shoals and sandbars. Pramila Namasudra recalls the Kalni-Kushiyara river avulsion. Her father's house and 7 hectares of agricultural land were completely eroded. The destabilized river caused further channel cuts. Pramila's homesteads continued to be eroded. She has now built her 11th house, a thatched shed on newly emerged shoreland. To earn her living, Pramila catches fish and grows groundnuts along the sandy river bank. Avulsion in the upper reaches of the river has caused channel diversion downstream. Sometimes, complete villages are eroded. Shahibnagar provides a good example. On a night in April 1994, the last piece of land separating the Kalni River and the old Kalni Channel eroded, causing some 200 homesteads to be submerged to the river. Over a 40-year period, 95% of Shahibnagar's homesteads have suffered erosion at one time or the other. Loss of homesteads and agricultural land has led to further poverty in the area. Between March and May, pre-monsoon floods are common. The flash floods are caused by heavy rainfall in the Indian hills. During a pre-monsoon flood, the riverbank erodes and water rushes through the breaches in a channel known as the Dala. As water spills to the rice fields, it destroys the standing paddy crop only days before it is ready for harvesting. After the flood, farmers try to salvage some of their crop and transport it to their village in boats. To protect their rice fields from pre-monsoon flood, farmers build dikes to prevent water flowing onto the Howar. Since 1990, farmers have built an earthen dike to close the river spill at Koyardala. This closure usually collapses in the monsoon. Desperate to save their crops from destruction, farmers must continually rebuild their dikes in the dry season. In the recent past, vast Howar areas in the region have been affected by pre-monsoon flood. Poverty has increased in the area. Besides losing their annual food supply, farmers have no surplus rice to sell. In many cases, they have to mortgage their land and borrow money to plant next year's crop. With so many crop failures, middle-sized farmers have become small farmers, whilst small farmers have become landless. The Howars are rich in biodiversity. They contain some of the largest wetlands found in South Asia. Fishermen report that over the years, many water bodies on the Howar have been filled in with sand and silt. The lowest body of water remaining in the Howar is known as a beel. Beels are an important habitat for fish during the pre-monsoon period. Many beels have completely silted in. The habitat for fish fry and juveniles has been destroyed. Fishermen have lost an important source of their livelihood.
এই পানি না খাটাই আমরা এই গ্রামটার বা এই যে অন্য অন্য যে জায়গা আছে এই জায়গা আমরা জলাশয় থাকে আমরা ক্ষেত করতে পারি না
In recent years, farmers report crop loss because of poor drainage on the Howars. Drainage flows have been disrupted or blocked by increased sedimentation. Delays in post-monsoon drainage leads to late plantation. When the monsoon water starts to recede in October, farmers prepare their fields for the only crop of the year, rice, grown during the dry season. Boro rice is transplanted by January for an April harvest. Delays in drainage and plantation leads to increased risk from pre-monsoon flood. As the river meanders through its curves, it scours holes known as douars in the riverbed. There are over 30 douars between Markuli and Madna, some of them as deep as 9 meters. Douars are the habitat of fish and the Gangetic dolphin. Unlike other areas of Bangladesh, one cannot travel by rickshaw in the Kalni-Kushiyara area. There are no all-season roads, no cars and no bicycles, only boats. The river is the essential transportation link. People have developed a boat culture. During the British period and up to the 1960s, the Kalni-Kushiyara was an important international route. steamers and launches carried passengers and cargo from Calcutta to Assam, a journey of some 1,200 kilometers. However, the Kalni-Kushiyara river has been silting up for the past 30 years. During the dry season, when the water level is low, shoals and sandbars create serious obstacles to river transportation. When a boat is stuck on a sandbar, passengers must either get off and push or transfer to a smaller craft. The annual monsoon is the most difficult time of year for people. During monsoon storms, village platforms are eroded by severe waves. Downstream of Ajmeri Ganj, the combination of deep water and high winds can produce waves 2 meters high. Erosion has led to extreme congestion in many villages. Houses are squeezed together, courtyard spaces packed with straw piles. Members of an entire family live in a single room, crammed with grain stocks and sheltering animals. Homestead platforms are usually not raised above extreme flood levels. During the height of the monsoon, over half a metre of water may inundate the courtyard and the house. At the height of the monsoon in August, only the tips of these flood-tolerant trees can be seen on the vast expanse of water. The Kalni-Kushiyara feasibility study concludes that instability of the river's channel contributes directly to sedimentation on the houses of the floodplain. As a result of the feasibility study, a project has been designed to enhance the development of a stable river channel. The goal of the Kalni-Kushiyara River Management Project is to alleviate poverty by improving river stability. The benefits of the project are reduced damage to agriculture, flood-secure village platforms, enhanced fish habitat, protected riverbanks, improved dry season navigation. In the new project, 2 loop cuts will be excavated along the river. A loop cut is a channel which creates a shortcut for the river. In addition to loop cuts, large shoals will be excavated to improve drainage and navigation on the river. The material excavated from loop cuts and shoals will be used to create higher land for flood-secure village platforms. Stone revetments and levees will protect particularly vulnerable riverbanks. A multi-purpose regulator at Koyerdala will provide irrigation water for dry season agriculture, facilitate passage of boats, and allow fish migration between the river and the Hawa. An important part of the feasibility study has included a pilot project in a short river reach. The 2 villages selected for this project, Kakalsheo and Gazaria, were located along the river near large shoals that required excavation.
ওইদিকে সিটার লোকেরা প্রথম পর্যায়ে আসার পরে তখন আমরা জিজ্ঞাসা করলাম যে ভাই আপনারা কিসের জন্য আসছেন তখন তারা বলল
Landowners dedicated low-lying land within the village. In each village, a committee was formed to participate in the design of the platform, arrange land dedication, and return the finished plots to the beneficiaries.
এমনি করে আমরা 110টা পরিবারে এদের সাথে এই চুক্তিপত্র করেছি।
Earthen dikes, strong enough to withstand the internal pressure of the soil and water, were constructed. These confine the dredged material in disposal chambers. Hundreds of local labourers were engaged on site. Over 400 poor women worked on location. They proved to be hard-working and competent construction workers. A dredger excavating a selected sandbar in the river pumped the material into the disposal chamber. Over a 4-month period, the sandy sludge gradually settled to become solid ground. New land had been formed. The dikes required protection during the monsoon. A belt of flood-tolerant trees and grasses were planted at the toe of the dike to dampen the effect of monsoon waves. To prevent erosion, a bamboo frame packed with indigenous cholla grass was applied against the wall of the dike. The pilot project has proven to be highly successful. From the rivers, shoals and sandbars, expansive new space had been created. This schematic drawing represents the new platform created from the river dredging at Gazaria. The platforms were constructed at an average height of 4.5 meters, well above the level of the monsoon flood. $158 households were provided with a large homestead plot.
ছাগল ফেলতো আমরা সুবিধা হইতেছে আমরা ছাগলের ফার্ম করতে পারি আশের ফার্ম করতে পারি ডাহের জন্যতে
Gazaria families have moved onto this new platform, building houses, planting gardens and rearing livestock. The wide platform has provided enough space for women to thresh the bountiful rice harvest of 1997. The new Kalni-Kushiyara platform provided a flood-free passageway for people to reach the market and the school. Village children and youth have expansive playing fields. This innovative method of using dredged spoil to create highland has added new social and economic dimensions to traditional river dredging. The Kalni-Kushiyara River Management Project will use this experience to provide an enhanced environment for development. The new project will improve agriculture, navigation, and will create 44 village platforms. The rebirth of the Kalni-Kushiyara River will enhance the quality of life for the people of northeast Bangladesh.